Sometimes it can be hard enough to drag ourselves out of bed, get ready for work, and get to the office just on our own. Now imagine having another person attached to you the whole time. Join us as we explore the strange and fascinating lives of conjoined twins. If you feel like staying close to the richest, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Carmen and Lupita Andrade. When conjoined twins Carmen and Lupita Andrade were born, doctors warned their parents that they would only survive a few days at most. Now, 16 years old, they have learned to be a bit skeptical of doctors. The two share a chest wall and are joined from there to their pelvis where their spines meet. Each has 2 arms but only 1 leg, so learning coordination was essential. Attending school is also a challenge because Lupita requires special needs classes while Carmen could be in a standard classroom. Lori and George Schappell. Lori and George Schappell are craniopagus twins, meaning that they are joined at the head. Despite this, they each share their own brain and have drastic physical differences. George suffers from spina bifida, which severely impairs his mobility. He's only 4 feet 4 inches compared to his sister's 5 feet 1 inch stature, and so he designed a custom wheelchair for himself so that the pair could move around freely. George was born as Dory Schappell before changing his name to Reba when he was pursuing a country singing career. Finally, George came out as transgendered and changed his name for the final time. Tatiana and Krista Hogan. Another set of craniopagus twins are sisters Tatiana and Krista Hogan. They are joined at the top, back, and sides of their heads and live in Vancouver, British Columbia. Their odds of surviving coming into this world weren't promising, but the pair were quite vigorous and hardy when they were born. Tatiana is smaller than her sister, and her heart was working overtime to supply blood to Krista's brain. Surgery was required to relieve the burden on Tatiana since this situation was causing her to have high blood pressure. Because their brains are conjoined as well, each twin can actually see through her sister's eyes. This makes them extraordinarily unique, even compared to other craniopagus twins. Masha and Dasha Krivoshlyapova. Masha and Dasha Krivoshlyapova were a pair of ischiopagus twins, meaning that they were joined at the pelvis. Their life was a sad story taking place in Soviet-era Russia. The 2 girls were taken away from their mother by Soviet scientists who wanted to use them for research. They were starved, deprived of sleep, and electrocuted while being constantly monitored to test their nervous systems. Eventually, the secret got out that the girls existed and they were sent to a boarding school with other children, a time they claimed was the happiest in their whole lives. Despite Masha being unable to drink alcohol, the pair became alcoholics, with Dasha downing the booze that would affect them both. Tragically, Masha passed away, with Dasha following 17 hours later from blood poisoning as a result of her deceased sister. Abby and Brittany Hensel. Probably the most well-known conjoined twins today are Abby and Brittany Hensel. Even among other conjoined twins, they were extremely symmetrical and each twin controls her half of their body. We watched them learning how to drive on television, and when they went for their licenses, they had to take the driving test twice, one for each girl. Abby operates the pedals and the gear shift, while Brittany controls the blinker, lights, and windshield wipers. The two have certainly come a long way since they were children when they struggled to learn to crawl, walk, and clap, since they had to coordinate every single movement with their sibling. Shivanath and Shivram Sahu. Shivanath and Shivram Sahu were born jointed at the waist, and each boy controls 2 arms and a single leg. Doctors believe that they could be successfully separated, but the boys flat out refuse to even consider it. When getting ready in the morning, they help each other out by brushing each other's hair and helping the other tidy up. In addition to the emotional impact of being separated, it would be physically harder for Shivanath. Shivram would be able to retain both legs and live a normal life, while Shivanath would be left with no legs and would likely require full-time care. Ronnie and Donnie Galyon. These two are the oldest living set of conjoined twins in the entire world, and they also hold the record for longest-lived conjoined twins in all of history. They were born to very shocked parents who were expecting a single child and were attached from sternum to groin. Because of the amount of organs they share, being separated would never be possible. When they tried to go to school with other children, they were deemed a distraction and sent home, resulting in their lifelong illiteracy. Their father signed them up as a sideshow attraction, and this allowed them to travel all over the world and support their families at the same time. Ganga and Jamuna Mondal. Because of the way they move around, Ganga and Jamuna Mondal are known as the Spider Sisters. If you want to ask them a couple of questions about their lives, that'll cost you. The pair work for a traveling circus based out of India, and they're paid to sit back and chat with spectators. They're joined at the abdomen and pelvis, and between them they have 4 arms and 3 legs. Doctors are uncertain if they could ever be separated, but since doing so would mean losing their livelihood, the girls aren't interested in the slightest. Humorously enough, when they attempted to open a joint bank account, they were denied, although they are allowed to vote separately. Despite insisting that they are 2 separate people entirely, they seem content to share a single man. ANASTASIA and Tatiana DOGARU. ANASTASIA and Tatiana DOGARU each relies on her sister in order to stay alive. The two are craniopagus conjoined twins, with the top of Tatiana's head attached to the back of ANASTASIA's. ANASTASIA relies on Tatiana's kidneys since her own are non-functioning, while Tatiana needs ANASTASIA's circulatory system. They even share blood flow to their brains as well as some brain matter. While doctors work to find out ways that the girls could one day lead separate lives, right now they are content to go to school where they're at the top of their class. Chang and Eng Bunker. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the most famous conjoined twins of all time, who form the basis for the term Siamese twins, Chang and Eng Bunker. The brothers were joined at the sternum and shared a single oversized liver. After a sideshow stint, they went into business for themselves, purchasing a small plantation and living relatively normal lives. They married a pair of sisters, Adelaide and Sarah Ann Yates. The couple initially shared a house, but eventually the sisters quarreled, and they set up 2 separate domiciles, with the brothers spending 3 days each in one house. Although the two declined to elaborate on their sex lives, their wives often gave birth a few days or weeks apart, and they managed to father 21 children between the 2 of them. How long do you think you could stick it out if your sibling was stuck to you? Would we need to time it on a watch or a calendar? But for these conjoined twins who grew up this way, the idea of separating can be too much to bear. We're sure you'd probably be the same way about being apart from the richest. So make sure you're subscribed and that you've joined our notification squad for the latest. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.